What terrible misunderstanding almost got you arrested? Make sure you bring extra plastic sheets this time, I said into my phone. Last week got way too messy and I ruined my favorite hoodie, I added just as my bedroom door burst open. Don't move! My mom screamed like she was in a cop show. Behind her stood my dad with a baseball bat, my uncle who apparently drove 2 hours to get here, and a police officer. Step away from the phone and show us your hands, the officer ordered while my mom sobbed. My baby girl has become a monster. It all started a month ago when my friend Jake got me a job at the haunted house downtown. His older brother ran the place and needed someone who could do realistic wound makeup for the actors. I watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials and practiced on myself until I could make fake gashes that looked so real they made me queasy. Then I started sneaking out every night to work. The pay was incredible and I was saving every penny for this fancy necklace my mom had been staring at in the jewelry store window for months. Every time she saw it, she'd say things like, maybe someday when we win the lottery, and I wanted to surprise her for Christmas. I didn't tell her about the job because she would have made me save the money instead of letting me buy her something special. My parents started getting suspicious when my mom found my laundry covered in what looked like blood splatter. Oh, that's just from art class, I told her, but she didn't look convinced. She also noticed I was exhausted every morning and kept falling asleep at breakfast. Why are you so tired lately? She asked one day and I panicked and said, just studying really hard, even though my grades were terrible this semester. She really lost it when she overheard me on speakerphone with Jake and his brother. We need another body tonight at 8. Bring your tools, Jake said. By the way, last night was brutal. I'm going to give you an extra 20 for all that blood, his brother added with what sounded like chainsaws in the background. She ran to my dad crying so hard he could barely understand her. Our daughter is involved in something terrible, she sobbed. I think she's hurting people for money. The next day while I was at school, they searched my room together. They found my special effects kit, which to them looked like torture supplies. There were scalpels for cutting fake skin, syringes for squirting blood, and bottles of red liquid labeled things like fresh wound and dried splatter. They found my sketchbook with drawings of injuries and notes like make the neck wound deeper and more blood around the mouth. My dad called his brother who used to be in the military, and my uncle called his friend on the police force. She might be some kind of teenage assassin, my uncle said. They all met at our house and planned to confront me that night when I got another job text. They waited outside my door while I took what they thought was a murder planning call. Yeah, I can do a chainsaw victim, I said, checking my supply list. But if you want the intestines hanging out, that costs extra. My mom gasped. Oh my god, she's talking about intestines. The officer nodded grimly, and they burst through my door expecting to catch me planning something horrible. Instead, they found me organizing tubes of fake blood, and while FaceTiming Jake at the haunted house. Behind Jake, someone in a werewolf costume was eating a sandwich. Can someone explain what's happening here? The officer asked as he looked at my collection of rubber gashes. I'm doing makeup for the haunted house, I said. You know, the Halloween attraction? Everyone just stared at the fake severed finger I was holding. Wait, you mean all this blood is fake? My dad asked, picking up a bottle that literally had a cartoon vampire on the label. Jake started waving on my phone. Hey, is this your family? Your daughter is amazing at gore effects, he said cheerfully. She made me look like I got ran over by a lawnmower last night and 3 people threw up. My mom sank onto my bed, still clutching her chest. So you're not hurting anyone? She asked weakly. What? No, I do special effects makeup, I said. The police officer couldn't stop smiling. You called me here because your daughter works at a haunted house? He asked my mom while trying not to laugh. My mom threw up her hands. She was sneaking out and there was blood everywhere. I thought she was a hit woman. The officer headed for the door chuckling. Wait until the guys hear about this one. My dad just shook his head. Next time maybe just tell us you got a job.